sprint in the park.
Yeah.
You know, I need to do it 4 more times. Like, come on, guys, 4 more times, best of 4. So it's short for me, but it's still fun, and to get to run in Central Park is awesome. And, you know, again, to be a part of such a big race of women is going to be a great time.
You did run the marathon here in New York, I think it was 4 years ago, 2014?
Sounds right.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Wait,
I've done
let me
it
check.
once, maybe 15.
2014, it says you
There you
finished
go.
5th. You were the top American finisher.
That's right.
Did you get a taste for what winning might feel like on that day?
Yeah, it was a really tough day. I remember it was super windy. So I got a taste for the toughness it takes to run through the city and to thrive in the city,
Yeah.
but also what it might be like to break the tape here. And, you know, Boston was a race that kind of captured my heart, and I was close in 2011. And now I need another really big goal to get me excited. So it's on the bucket list. I can't say when, but I for sure will be back to try and tackle this marathon as well.
And we had an American champ here last year,
right.
Shalane Flanagan, the first
Yeah.
one in an awful long time for that, too.
40 years
Yeah.
or so. So there's a really great group of U.S. distance runners right now on the women's side. Men's side, too, but the women are doing something pretty special. From 1,500 meters all the way up to the marathon, you can expect to see someone have a presence on the global stage. So it's a fun time.
Is it a friendly competition between you guys, or is there any animosity? I'm just curious to know. I had Kristi Yamaguchi in here, and she, of course, was on the Olympic figure skating team with Tanya and Nancy. And so we know the backstory there, but we don't hear about the rivalry that goes on between American marathoners.
Yeah, we're not there yet. No, I'm just
No
kidding.
kneecapping?
Not yet.
Good.
No, actually, it's there's just a lot of respect because everyone knows how hard it is and how much time and effort you put in. So you want to win and you want it to be you, but if someone else gets it done, it's a reminder that you can do it because we're all kind of swapping places on who's the front runner. And so if Shalane gets it done in New York, I say, great, I can do that too. Why can't it be me?
Right.
And then I get it done in Boston, and 3 other women say, well, why not me?
We're on the mark with Des Linden, the 2018 Boston Marathon Women's Champion. She's in town for the New York Mini 10K tomorrow. And I checked my notes. They're celebrating the crazy legs, they called them.
That's
the
right.
15-time finishers.
It's great.
So that's going to be kind of neat. You grew up in San Diego, yes?
Yes.
Soccer, cross country, track. When did you start to believe or start to think that long distance running was your thing?
Yeah, it was. I started out as staying in shape for soccer because I thought I was going to be a soccer player.
Okay.
But I'm 5'1", 90-something pounds. Not the game for me, even though I loved it.
Yeah.
And so my whole tactic was just be really fast and outrun everybody. And then I thought, well, gosh, I should probably just do track instead. And that was around, in high school, I started having some success on the track.
Okay.
So
And you got recruited to Arizona State.
I did.
And how was that?
It's a great school. I mean,
Terrific broadcasting
great fun.
curriculum, too.
Average school.
Cronkite School.
Yeah, yeah. But good programs there. And we had, I ran for Walt Drenth, who's just an incredible coach and still a great friend today and someone I can turn to for coaching advice now even. And so, yeah, I was really happy with my decision to go there.
You got to run in the Olympics, 2012 in London, which I
Yes.
know didn't go so well because you had an injury that you were battling through.
Yeah, it wasn't a highlight. I mean, you want to get to the Olympics and stand on the line with the possibility that you might have your day. You might
Right.
win a medal. You might win the Olympics, right? That's how you want to stand on the line.
Yeah,
And I was battling an injury that I didn't know at the time, but turned out to be a stress fracture in my femur.
Ow.
And yeah, so I had to stop pretty early on because the pain was just too intense. And yeah, it was a bummer to have that experience be my Olympic experience.
But you got to redeem yourself to a degree, 2016 in Rio, and you wound up in 7th, so at least
7th.
you finished.
Exactly.
Not on the podium, no medal.
Yep.
But how difficult was it? Because again, talking to Kristi Yamaguchi, you go from one Olympics to another, and it's not always the easiest transition. You know, things come up in life, and you may not want to continue to train as hard. What was that journey like for you those 4 years?
Yeah, getting back to the games was super motivating. And so it wasn't a question of, do I want to do this? Once I got healed, it was like, all right, I have to take a long-term approach. And I was super pleased with standing on the line hopeful in Rio. And 7th was a great day for me. And again, the American women put 3 in the top 10. So we didn't have the medals, but we're moving forward. Progress is happening.
Right.
So I feel like whoever gets on the team in 2020 could do big things. So certainly on my radar.
If I did good research, I've got some interesting tidbits for you. I'm told that you didn't really set out to be a marathoner.
This is
And
true.
I guess we covered that, and you were training to be better or more anaerobic, I guess, for soccer.
Yeah.
So when did marathoning enter the picture?
Yeah, even when I got into track, I was like, the 10K, that's way too long. And then I got stuck in a 10K, and I was like, oh, I didn't die. I'm okay. Well, let's try that for a while. But I was like, but I'm never going to marathon.
Right.
That's way too long. Those people are crazy.
Yeah.
And now I'm one of them. And you do that first one, and it just sucks you in. You're like, oh, I want to be
Not
a
everybody.
little bit better, a little bit better. Yeah. Well, it works for some people.
Yeah, I did the one, and I did the half
okay, I'm good.
here in the city. Was it, I think, 3 years ago?
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it. I'm done. I hear your easy days, in quotes, start with 12 miles.
In marathon training, it'd be 12 to 14 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then more later in the day.
Yeah, then you
To
do
cool down.
Right. You do the nap and the massage and maybe some strength training.
Yeah.
And then 4 miles in the afternoon, just to shake it out, just for fun.
Now, how many of these marathons have you done?
Oh gosh, I think
Have you lost count?
I've been on about 15 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a job. It's a full-time thing.
Well, it takes a long time to
Yeah.
run. Well, for me, it took like 5.5 hours, but for you, you can get them done in about 2.5 hours.
That's right.
Do you have in your mind a specific goal, time-wise, a barrier that you want to try and break through?
I've never been big on time. It's coming to these big races that are on tough courses like New York or Boston,
Right.
where it's hilly and there's other things to contend with, and also ultimately you just want to beat people.
Right.
I mean, I'd much rather win than run a fast time.
Right.
So,
Okay. Makes perfect sense.
thank you.
You mentioned naps. I'm
Yeah.
curious. I would think with all the running, you need your rest, obviously. How much sleep do you get a night when you're in training?
Yeah, that's the best recovery tool we have. Just go to bed, right? And so I try to be in bed by 10. And then, I'm up around 7 or so, and
Okay.
then I'll take a couple-hour nap during the day. Depends if
But
I
you're
want
looking at 8 or
coffee.
9 hours a night.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Yeah, try to get that
Okay.
much. Yeah,
I get that much in 2 nights,
you're a trooper.
doing a marathon of a different kind.
Exactly.
We're with Des Linden, Desiree, who won the 2018 Women's Boston Marathon, or the first woman to finish this year's Boston Marathon, I guess is a better way to put it. You finished, they give you the wreath, you go through the interviews, you have all the accolades, and then you wind up drinking your champagne out of a shoe. After
Stuff
you
got
won in
weird.
Boston.
Got weird. Took a turn.
What was the idea behind that?
Yeah, well, I love Formula One, and Daniel Ricciardo is hilarious, and I've seen him do the Shoei a few times.
Okay.
And I'm a runner, so the natural thing is you got to market your shoes, right?
Right.
How do you do that? Well, with champagne and
Okay.
your shoe.
I don't know if I should ask this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay, go for it.
Was it the shoe or one of the shoes that you actually ran the race in?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm a marathoner crazy,
Just
but
wanna make
there's-
sure.
Yeah, there's some boundaries you don't cross.
Because when I saw the video, it wasn't entirely clear
Yeah.
that it was a new shoe or a different shoe. It didn't look like it was a shoe that had gone through a marathon
Yeah.
that day, but I had to ask the question.
Yeah, no, it was a Brooks Fusion Birds of Paradise colorway, beautiful shoe, and now it's part of Boston Marathon history.
Speaking of Boston, obviously the marathon is held on Patriots Day. The Red
Yes.
Sox play unless they get rained out. You, I understand, are a pretty big baseball fan.
I keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, you threw out the first pitch at a Tigers game?
I've done it.
Okay, so how does a girl from San Diego and eventually Arizona State wind up at Comerica Park?
I live in Michigan.
Okay.
I've been there the last 13 years, and the team I've been on is based out of Rochester Hills, Michigan.
Okay.
And so I've been living there for a while now.
Now, you've seen, I'm sure, the videos of folks like 50 Cent throwing first pitches. How did yours go?
It was average.
So
I made
better
it
than that.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I mean, that's the low bar. Although if you want really good publicity, you
Right,
just
mess
throw
it
it
up.
right into the ground. But I just, that's selling your soul. I couldn't do it.
How close to the rubber were you?
I stood on the grass.
Okay.
So right on the edge of the dirt.
Nothing
and the
wrong with
grass,
that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Which,
Did you reach home plate?
yeah. I got it passed.
Because we have a guy in town, Saquon Barkley was drafted by the Giants,
Yeah.
second overall, threw out the first pitch at Yankee Stadium, I think last week, and did not do a very good job. He's getting panned for it.
It's tougher than you think, but I mean, a big football guy, that's a lot of arm strength. I don't need to use my
Well, see,
arms
the way
in
I
the
look at it, he's a
race.
running back. He doesn't throw the ball.
That's
If he was a
true.
quarterback
Yeah.
having
then
a problem.
we have a problem.
Right.
Time to trade him.
But you think you acquitted yourself pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could have been better, but maybe next time. Maybe when I throw it out in New York.
Hint, hint, Mets and Yankees. Subway Series. They should
There
have
we
figured
go.
something out with
Yeah.
you guys. I also hear you're a big fan of bourbon.
I am.
And I wasn't sure because I'm reading all this information and I see baseball and I was thinking maybe it was Pedro Bourbon, but no, it's actually bourbon.
That's right.
Is there one in particular? Are you an aficionado? You go to tastings? How does that and how does that factor into training too?
We do home tastings.
Okay.
But I guess the easiest one to talk about is obviously a Pappy Van Winkle that's 23 years old. So
Okay.
we were in early on the bourbon boom, and that was available and not priced out of my range, which is nice. And it's just we've accumulated a lot just doing tastings,
Right.
and then after Boston, the gifting was incredible. I have so many bottles I haven't even opened yet
Okay.
that if I never run a great marathon again, honestly, I blame it on the fans. I just had got too much bourbon, and you guys, I did it for you.
Yeah. Don't send her anymore. Send it to
whoa.
me.
Wait a minute.
You can send it to me. Remember Al
There we
Franken
go.
on Saturday Night Live used to talk about, donate to me, Al
There
Franken.
we go.
Donate the bourbon to me in care of 1010 Wins via Des Linden.
Love it.
I'll make sure she gets some of it.
Sample.
You excited about tomorrow?
I'm fired up.
The
It's
mini 10K?
it's always tough getting back into things after a marathon,
Okay.
and it's a little out of my wheelhouse. So it'll be fun to find out where I'm at, and then know that I got some work going forward.
And as we wrap up, what's the best advice you can give to a prospective marathoner, somebody who's watching or listening to us right now who's thinking, I might want to do something like that someday?
Yeah.
The couch potato,
Yeah.
like I was. I just decided, I'm going to do this.
Sign
Because
up.
it's on my bucket list.
Just sign up, and then once you've invested your several $100s, you'll make sure you train.
Right.
And get a plan, find some people to train with, and then do it, because it'll change your life. It can change your life.
I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, no,
Thanks
it's my
so
pleasure.
much. I'm Marc Ernay. She's Des Linden, and you're on the mark.